Hello lovelies! Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making an AI version of stuffed bell peppers. In my quest for the perfect recipe, I asked the AI a couple times. The first time it gave me a vegetarian version with spinach. The second time, I specified beef and it gave me a completely different recipe. So here we are with a unique creation. The recipe doesn't include tomatoes. Instead, we're using mushrooms and beef broth. Let's get started. First, we'll preheat our oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, or 190 degrees Celsius. Then, we'll prep our bell peppers by cutting off the tops and removing the seeds and membranes. If they don't stand upright, you can try asking them nicely, but it's probably easier just to trim the bottoms. I do only have 2 bell peppers today, so instead of cutting off the tops and setting them upright, I'm going to cut them in half and lay them on their sides. Because of this, I'm also going to cut the recipe in half. Now, if you take the bell pepper and place it face down, you can take your knife and you can cut it into strips like this. This is called julienne. Then you can gather them all up, turn them to their side, and then finally realize that you're making stuffed bell peppers and you weren't supposed to cut them up. That would be a good time to think about your life. Throw your dog a treat ball. Watch him immediately lose it under the chair. Rescue it like the good dog mom you are. Get screamed at by your cat because she learned what the word treat is. Give her treats because your will is not strong. Suddenly remember you're cooking. And then decide that you're just gonna put it inside of the stuffed bell pepper anyway, and let's keep going. Luckily, I have another bell pepper that I am able to pull, so we're just gonna use that one and try and fill them all that way. Once all of your bell peppers are cut, we can place them in the baking dish and set that aside. Next, we need half of a small onion. Now, a small onion is typically about 3/4 of a cup. Now, if you take your knife and you cut perpendicular to the roots, you can cut slices about 90% of the way through, and then turn your onion and cut the other way, and you'll make beautifully diced onion without making a giant mess. And at the end, you're just left with this little nub that you can just throw in the trash. Now, it's time to cook the filling. Heat up some olive oil in a large skillet over medium heat. Add the half onion, and then you're also going to add the bell pepper that we accidentally cut up, and cook until softened, or about 3 minutes. Then, use 1 clove of garlic and half a cup of mushrooms. You're going to continue to cook this for about 5 minutes until the mushroom starts to release juices. Once your vegetables are all sweaty, you're going to want to put in half a pound of ground beef and break it up with a spoon. Continue to cook it until all of the pink is gone and all that's left is the brown. Once all of your ground beef is completely cooked, drain off the excess fat and bring it back. Now it's time to start adding in our seasonings. Here I started with half a teaspoon of paprika and half a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Now I saw that it looked a little dry, and so I just grabbed the bottle and just gave it a good shake. I was afraid I ruined it, but this honestly really helped in the end. Now, we add half a cup of beef broth and half a cup of rice. Make sure you include some salt and pepper to taste, and stir everything together until it's coated and heated thoroughly. At this point I had tasted the filling and it tasted a little bland. So I grabbed the chili powder and I added a little bit on top and mixed it in, and then I did it one more time. This really helped to bring out the rest of the flavor and to add a little bit of a kick. With the filling ready, it's now time to stuff our peppers. You're going to place the bell peppers in the baking dish, and you're going to stuff each one of them with the beef and mushroom mixture, pressing down slightly to pack it in. Continue until you have distributed all of your filling into your bell peppers. Then take your shredded cheese and sprinkle it on top of each one of them. With our peppers fully prepped, it's time to cover the dish with some aluminum foil, and we're gonna pop it in the oven and bake it for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, remove the foil and bake for another 10 to 15 minutes until the peppers are tender and the cheese is melted and bubbly. That means it's time to take them out of the oven. Once out of the oven, let the stuffed peppers cool slightly before serving. And there you have it, delicious beef mushroom stuffed peppers. It's a meal fit for a king or at least somebody who's hungry. It's time for the taste test. Now as I cut it, you can see that it's a little bit dry, which I am absolutely fine with. I don't like when my stuffed bell pepper is a soup. With the first bite, the bell pepper definitely overpowered the filling a bit. So I went in and tried again, with just the filling this time. Let me try it without the bell pepper. I think the bell pepper overpowered it. Yep. Okay, without the bell pepper, like, this is spot on. Something about, like, adding the bell pepper in just makes it a little weird. I don't know why. It might just be me though. But this is a good recipe for being AI. Gotta say. We'll definitely keep this one. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a tasty episode. And a big shout out to my AI cooking buddy who insisted that I give them a shout out. Happy cooking and see you next time.